Hey guys, welcome back to my YouTube channel. Say hi, Blanco, say hi. I am going to be doing a wedding series and today is going to be the start of that video. I am so excited about this because I recently was a bride. I am a 2023 bride. I got married in February in Arizona with my husband and it was just the most beautiful day, and I just want to go over why it was so beautiful and special, and I want to help other people who are looking to get married and have a beautiful day as well. Just give a little bit of advice or tips or things that I loved. So this video is going to be about 10 things that I loved about our wedding day and that I would recommend to anyone. The first thing I want to get into as far as things that I loved for our wedding day was the venue. The first thing I loved was our venue was just so amazing. It was honestly so beautiful on its own that we barely even needed to buy anything for decorations, which actually saved us a lot of money. We very lightly decorated because it was just so beautiful. So finding a venue that's just naturally beautiful on its own helped so much. And then also they just did a lot for us already. They helped set up tables, they helped, the catering was through the venue, which was pretty amazing, and I know most venues aren't really like that, so we got pretty lucky in that aspect, but that saved us so much work and so much time. So definitely investing in a good venue is huge, and I know that's pricey and that can be hard, but it honestly in the long run saved us a lot of money just investing in a good venue. Okay, the second thing that I loved so much about our wedding day was honestly we had a day of coordinator. She was amazing. She was actually a part of the package deal that we picked for our venue, and it was just so amazing having her. She just made the day run so smoothly, and that way like none of our family members had to do it or someone we knew had to do it. So she just helped so much, just making sure that the photographer was on top of things, that the cake was being cut, that things were running at the time that they needed to be done. And so we just loved her. So definitely get a day of coordinator. That's totally worth investing in, but I honestly am really happy we didn't get a wedding planner. And so the difference between that is the day of coordinator is just for the day of your wedding, which is obvious, it's in the name, but our wedding planner or a wedding planner does just the whole wedding planning process with you. I loved being part of the wedding planning process, and I feel like when you hire a wedding planner, it kind of takes away from that, and I feel like I just got to be a part of so much of like making the invitations, making the the website and all of that happen, and I honestly loved doing that. It felt like I had worked so hard for our day to be so special, and I loved being a part of that. But if you're not someone who likes that, then maybe a wedding planner would be good for you, but I personally really enjoyed planning my own wedding. The third thing that I loved about our wedding was the details. We had so many little details implemented throughout our whole wedding day, starting from the invitations to like our website to like our place cards. We had so many cute little details that had like our initials on it, our date, even like we had a hot cocoa bar and it had like our initials on the cups. So all of those little details honestly made the day feel so special, and it honestly made the pictures like look amazing because there was just so many little details included throughout the wedding. Like I just love that so much. And shout out to my twin sister Isabel because she thought of a lot of those things. She's really good about investing in like little details. And then what else did we have? There was just a lot little details like that just made the day so special, and I highly recommend investing and putting the time and effort into the details. Even though it might take a long time, it is so worth it at the end of the day. Okay, the fourth thing that I loved about our wedding is we didn't have a DJ. So what we did instead, which saved us a ton of money, is we rented equipment from a store. We rented all the DJ equipment you need, and it probably costed us half the amount that it would have costed us to rent, or to not rent a DJ, but I guess, yeah, rent a DJ. And we just had my cousin, who's really good at music stuff, just sit behind and just take care of all the sound system stuff. And we just had we rented the equipment and had the people come set it up, and then my cousin just kind of took over the whole sound system, and we had him come with us to the rehearsal so he could practice like all the songs of us walking down the aisle. We had him practice the entrance songs, and it wasn't all that hard for him, and he did an amazing job. And we just, for our dancing music, we just literally made a playlist for him to play, and he just pressed play on the playlist, and then people would come up and request songs, and he would play those too. So that way everyone got to listen to the songs they actually wanted to hear. And honestly, I've heard so many horror stories of DJs just ruining weddings, like playing the wrong song walking down the aisle, or like completely just screwing things up. So if you find someone that you trust to play the right songs, and if you just make them a playlist and just literally hook up your phone to the sound system and rent the equipment, you do not need to pay for a DJ that's like all crazy and trying to be all hyped and trying to, like, you know, sing in the microphone. Like, I am not about that vibe at all. And literally, to this day, people still talk about the dance floor that we had at our wedding. People had so much fun because they got to listen to all the good songs. We didn't listen to a single song that we did not want to hear. And if one came on that we didn't want to hear, all we did was just ask my cousin to skip it, and he just would. So I highly, highly recommend just renting equipment and then having like a family member or someone you trust just take care of the whole sound systems for the day. The fifth thing that I loved about our wedding was our bridal party. We had a really large bridal party, and honestly, it made it so much fun. And I know like it's kind of more in trend to have like a smaller bridal party, but honestly, having a large one just had like, it just hyped up the whole day so much, and like everyone just had so much fun like being a part of the wedding. And I don't know, it was just really fun. And in the pictures, it like comes out beautiful to have a large bridal party. I had 8 bridesmaids and Tyler had 8 groomsmen, so in total it was like 16 of us. Thanks. My husband like just did the math for me, but yeah, it was like 16 of us. So that made it like so much fun, and the photos just came out so cool, and they were all hyped for us, and it just made like, I don't know, it made the day feel like really special having like all those people behind us like standing up there with us, and like it honestly made it like less nerve-wracking too. I don't know if that makes any sense, but it just did. The sixth thing that I really liked that we did from our wedding, I actually just loved this, but we actually did private vows before the ceremony even started. So Tyler and I, we actually went into this like little hallway, and we were put back to back because we didn't do a first look, which is something I'll touch on later because that was something I was really happy we did. We were put back to back, and we had our personal vows written in these like little cute notebooks that had our initials engraved in them. And it was just the sweetest moment ever. We were both crying. It was so emotional, and we were both just like, my nerves just really calmed down, and it like really helped me refocus and recenter the day on what it's really about. So I was really happy that we did that. My husband's getting on our dog, but yeah, so that's something that I would recommend to anyone. I'm so happy we decided to have the private vows before the ceremony started. And if you're kind of like not great in front of crowds, or you don't like to public speak, my husband, like, he's not a big like in front of people type of person, so he really like requested for us to do this beforehand and for it to just be me and him, and it honestly made it more special. So we ended up just doing the traditional vows in front of everyone else, but just me and him, we had like our personal private vows that like we wrote to each other, and it was just so sweet. I like 10 out of 10 recommend. That was probably my favorite moment of the whole day. Since we're on the topic a little bit, I'm gonna go ahead and go into the 7th thing that I loved that we did. We didn't have a first look, which I'm actually really happy we didn't do that. it was just so sweet to see like Tyler's like pure emotion when I was like walking down the aisle and he was seeing me in my dress for the first time ever. And I honestly loved that we didn't have a first look. It was just so special and sweet to just see the whole just reaction from like everyone, because I didn't really show a ton of people my dress beforehand, so it was just so sweet. And I don't know, there's something that was just extra special about that moment when I was like walking down the aisle with my dad and Tyler was seeing me for the first time in my wedding dress. So I don't regret not doing a first look. Okay, the 8th thing that I'm super happy that we did for our wedding is it was more of an intimate, well, it wasn't a super small wedding, but it wasn't super big either. We had about like 115 guests, so it wasn't super big, which I'm really happy that we didn't go on the bigger side, just because I feel like, well, A, it would have been a ton of money. It would have been a lot more money for us. And then B, like, I just feel like everyone that we really wanted to be there was there, and we weren't, you know, like, we weren't just bombarded by people. We weren't like super like excited about being there. We didn't really know all that well. So I'm really happy we went with like a medium-sized crowd. I'm also happy we didn't go to the extreme and just do like 20 or 50 people, which there's nothing wrong with either, but I think it was just a lot of fun having like enough people to where it could really be a party, like especially on the dance floor and stuff. So I'm happy we didn't go either extreme. We kind of had like a medium-sized wedding, which was like honestly so perfect, because it did feel like there was a lot of people there, but it also didn't feel like it was like overcrowded or we didn't know anyone. So that was really special, and I just loved that we made it the size that we did. Okay, the 9th thing that I loved about our wedding was actually the color scheme that we decided to go with. We decided to do black and white, and I know that's pretty popular for the 2023 weddings and 2022 weddings, but honestly, I just loved it. I feel like it's so timeless. It was so elegant, and we really didn't have to go out of our way to find decorations. Like, it was just so easy to find things that worked with the color scheme. We didn't have our guests like in any kind of dress code, which I'm kind of happy about. Like, I honestly liked seeing our guests like in colorful attire, but I did just love like the whole color scheme. In our bridesmaids, or my bridesmaids, like they all wore black dresses, and it looked so beautiful. And our like tables and napkins, like it was just so easy to find black and white different types of decor, and it just made it so much easier to decorate. And I feel like I'm gonna look back at those color schemes in like 20-30 years and just still be obsessed with our wedding and not really have any regrets. Okay, the last and final thing that I loved that we did at our wedding was our wedding exit. It was so crazy and so fun. But we had white streamers during our wedding exit, and we had like everyone line up, and we walked down like the tunnel of people, and people just popped like these white streamers. They're like no mess streamers, so they just would shoot out, but they would still be connected to the popper, so that way you could just throw the whole thing away and there wouldn't be like a mess of stuff on the ground. But it was so much fun, and it was so affordable. We were gonna do sparklers, but honestly, it was so expensive to do sparklers, and we just couldn't make it happen last minute. So we decided to just do like these little party popper Amazon streamers that I'll put right here. Our guests had so much fun with this exit too, and like it was so funny. They were literally like lassoing us with like the streamers, and it was just so much fun. And yeah, it was like a great way to end the wedding, the whole wedding day. And so I definitely recommend streamers for a wedding exit. And it just like, the pictures were so much fun, and it just like, I don't know, it was just such a blast, and it's such a cheap thing to do. But I definitely, either way, I recommend going all out with your wedding exit, because it was just such a fun way to end the night, just end it off with a bang. And yeah, so I would definitely recommend that. Thank you so much for watching this YouTube video. If you liked it, feel free to like and subscribe and give it a thumbs up. But I hope you enjoyed. This is the first part of the wedding series videos. I'm gonna do a few more videos like this, just going over a few things that I I loved, a few things that I might have done differently, and then just kind of going over events and things that I did leading up to the wedding. So I hope you liked this video, and feel free to like and subscribe, and I love you guys and see you guys again soon. Bye.